The other two got most of your story. So then you have to ad lib, you just throw the papers away. How many of you listened to what was said about Alberta's heritage, about our unique culture? Does anybody believe the stories that the Eastern commentators and op-eds about Alberta has no culture?
No.
And definitely Alberta has not been around to have any sort of heritage. If you believe that, please stand. If you don't believe it, please give yourself a hand. I want to use a rodeo analogy here. This is a big task. This is not a task. I'll use a football analogy and then a rodeo analogy. If you think we're going to throw the bomb to the end zone and get the touchdown like that in one play, you don't understand what's going on. This is going to happen 10 yards at a time, and they are going to send out twice as many defenders to try and tackle every move you make, and don't you ever forget it. They are not going to let you reach that goal line, and we're going to have to take one stripe at a time, okay? And the going is going to get tough, and occasionally you're going to get set back. You cannot give up. You cannot give up. The future of your children and your grandchildren depends on you staying the course.
Yes.
So I've got some rodeo friends here, at least a couple that I know of. Some of them came a ways. McGrath, Rocky, other places. And in rodeo, there's a saying. So let's suppose there's three go-arounds in the bronc riding. That means they get 3 head, and then they pay an average, right? We got a Canadian champion bronc rider right there. He knows what I'm talking about. His name's Gus. He's from over the alley. So what that means is you take care of the go-arounds, and the average will take care of itself. You never look down the road too far. Take care of it one go-around at a time. And then at the end of those go-arounds, if you've done your job, you will win the average. We are here to win the average, and that average is freedom. Danielle Smith said in her little speech that Alberta's at a crossroads. How many of you think that we're at a crossroads?
Whatever that means.
I think we're way beyond the crossroads, don't you? I think we are in dire straits. Absolute dire straits. And I'm going to get into that. So, Central Canada, in all their wisdom, along with the Maritimes, just installed twice, not once, they installed him twice, the most destructive man who ever was in politics. You thought Trudeau was destructive? He cannot hold a candle to Mark Carney.
That's right.
Let me tell you about Mark Carney. So, you know what, before I do that, I wanted to go back to something that the good historian talked about, because we didn't cover it enough. We talked about there's no hope for Albertan Confederation. You need to understand that that is not by accident. It was well planned. It It was well orchestrated. You see, the founding fathers took a page out of the colonial system of government, right? Does everybody understand what that was? So Britain had all of these colonies out there, and all of those colonies, what was their responsibility? To provide raw materials to the motherland, right? And so they would produce the raw materials. The raw materials would go back to England. They would manufacture goods, and they would send them goods back to the colonies, and they would tax them to death. Does that sound familiar? Because it should. Because that's exactly what the Canadian political system is founded on. Alberta is not a province of hewers and wood gatherers and water drawers accidentally. It was built into the system. They wanted you to be second-class citizens. They wanted your children to be second-class citizens. They wanted Albertan to be serfs and slaves, and that's exactly the way it was set up. If you don't believe me, I went to Ottawa. Went to the press club. Pierre sent some of his henchmen to the meeting. There was probably 30 people there, number of speakers. I finally got to speak. And he asked me what we wanted. I said we want an elected Senate, by the way. That was part of our platform before Preston took it. He took all of our platform except separation. That's the only thing he didn't take. How'd that work out? How'd it work out? Not so good, huh? So I said we want that, and I said we want a change in the Supreme Court system. I said we want a Supreme Court justice from Ontario, or from every province in Canada and the territories. That gives us 11, so then if there's a tiebreaker, you're in business. The way it is now, there's 3 Supreme Court justices from Ontario, 3 from Quebec, and 3 from the rest of Canada, and Danielle thinks she can win in a court case before that Supreme Court. Give me a break. The deck has been stacked since day one. It is not going to change. And so, you have to understand that what the good lawyer from Ontario said is absolutely right. We must be prepared to forge our own destiny. We cannot continue to stay in this country. They have proven over and over again that we are not welcome. We are not welcome. And so, I want to talk to you about why things have become so much more hopeless. Mark Carney, installed twice. This man is probably the top dog at the World Economic Forum.
Yes, he is.
He was installed by the World Economic Forum, the United Nations, and his buddies, the world bankers. That's what happened. That's exactly what happened. Mark Carney is a lying, hypocrite, globalist thug. I'm going to ruffle some feathers here tonight. You see the color of my hair? What color is it? White. No, it's not. It's I don't give a damn. And so, Mark Carney has implemented and engineered and architected a policy known as net zero. Net zero. Jerry, sit down, please. Hey, Jerry, sit down. Sit down, Jerry. Sit down, Jerry. So anyway, he implemented the net zero. He was the architect of net zero. He is the architect of one of the most dangerous philosophies ever known to mankind. It is, you will own nothing and you will be happy. Now, people say, well, he's just talking about my house. No, he's not talking about your house. He's talking about the clothes on your back and the food that you eat. You will own nothing and you will be happy. That's your Mark Carney. Mark Carney is a globalist hypocrite. He is a man who has threatened to shut down Alberta's pipelines, and in the meantime, he's invested in the biggest pipeline builder in the world. Do you think it's really about the pipelines, or is it about bringing Alberta to its knees?
Bringing us to our knees.
Because as long as Alberta prosper, they cannot reach their goal. And the goal is for Canada to be the shining example of how globalism can work around the world. And he may accomplish it with the rest of Canada, but we cannot let him accomplish it with Alberta. Well, how is he going to do all this? How many of you remember he's the architect of seizing your bank accounts? You're aware of that, right? Yep. So, what are you doing up here?
I'm a 1 minute warning.
Oh, okay. Well, I've got more than a minute to go. Anyway, he is intent on doing away with currency and implementing what they call the social credit system. They have a social credit system in China. You get some points. If you're a good boy and girl, you can get some more points. If you're a bad boy and girl, they deduct those points. If they deduct enough points, you cannot even subside. You can't gain subsistence because they take all of that away from you. That's his goal. And that's how they're going to implement it. So she's wanting me to get out of here, but I'm not going for a second. I got a couple of things I want to read. I don't read. I'm not a reader, but I want to read this to you. We talk about separation, we talk about independence, we have all of these terms. We do not talk about freedom near enough.
Exactly.
Not near enough. So, I want to tell you a new terminology. It's called emancipation. Emancipation generally refers to the act of being freed from legal, social, or political control or restraint. Are we there?
Yeah.
You bet. It can apply to individuals, groups, or even nations, signifying a liberation from something that constrains their autonomy from, keyword, freedom. Okay? Now she's over here shaking her fist at me, so I gotta throw these away. And I gotta get to the end here. I wanted to tell you about Danielle, but she'll have to do that. Because she is not who you think she is. She hasn't accomplished anything except threat. And the good lawyer, he already told us that they need to come to us. We don't go to them.
Exactly.
And she's saying, here's the condition. You know, these are the conditions. You know what? We make the move, we have a referendum, and then we see how they react, and we really don't give a damn because we're leaving. It's time for Alberta to officially declare independence. Let me paraphrase what Thomas Jefferson wrote in 1776. Remember, 1776 came about because of taxation without representation. Alberta has been taxed to death since 1905 without representation. We cannot change it because the power brokers will never allow us to change it. When I went to that press meeting and I explained the things we wanted, there were belly rolls around that table, and one of Trudeau's guys got up and said, "We've got the power now, why the hell would we relinquish it?" And that's the answer. Yeah. They are not going to relinquish it. So the good lawyer wrote a Declaration of Independence. I'm going to read this one for you. We, Albertans, hold these truths to be self-evident. All men are created equal, and they are endowed by their Creator, not by government. With certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. In closing, I would like to say, God bless old Didsbury. I hope they find the courage to make history again. I hope they fire a shot that's heard in Ottawa, in Davos, Switzerland, and reverberates off the shorelines of the Great Lakes on both sides of the 49th parallel. And God bless each one of you for standing up for freedom. You are freedom warriors in a time of great hostility towards this province. I pray that God will bless every one of you in your endeavors. Be aware there will be all kinds of roadblocks. The government will put roadblocks in your place. They will infiltrate the movement. They will have false polls. I know because it happened to me personally. There will be polls that say you don't have a chance. If you believe any of that nonsense, you bought into the garbage. Do not buy the propaganda. These Marxist propagandists will do everything they can to destroy this good man in that by-election. Don't let them do it. Thank you all, and God bless you, and good luck.